Oh my word, Tyson Fury has officially ducked Deontay Wilder. Stay tuned.
It's no secret that Joshua did not want this fight. And he didn't want it for a reason, because Deontay Wilder is the most fiercest puncher in boxing history, in heavyweight division history. And I saw that tonight and I felt it. No wonder AJ didn't want no part of that right hand. He can't move like me, he'd have been nailed.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego in the back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Well. New media, motherfucker. I told you guys, there's a lot of people, they say new media ain't this and that. And, you know, just look at what the content speaks for itself. Now, I had a bad feeling about this. You know, when Tyson Fury announced that he was going over with ESPN Boxing at Top Rank, I was like, uh-oh. And I immediately, you know, I was one of the first to report it. I remember I was on the live stream. You know, just do your homework. Bottom line, I was one of the first on YouTube, probably the first on YouTube, to report about the Tyson Fury, because I was on a live stream and I got an email, you know, and I went over it and I was like, damn, this is breaking news. And I told you immediately, my initial reaction was, this might not be good. You know, now you have, you know, like the saying, too many hands in the cookie jar. And you got people who are basically, you know, business, and we talked about it, clout chasing. They wait till something's hot, they wait till something's valuable, wait till something's marketable, and if you have the buying power, then you buy it up. You know, like YouTube itself. YouTube, a lot of people don't know this. This is a fun fact. YouTube started out as a dating site, you know. So remember who told you that? You know, Ego fun facts. YouTube started out as a dating site, but then they seen people were uploading videos of their dogs and cats and different things like that. So then they changed it to what it is today, and you know, and built from that a video repository where you can store videos. You know, that's, get it, YouTube. You know, you could kind of see the name where they were going with it as a dating website, but it evolved over time. And that's what happens. Google bought YouTube because it was profitable. Everybody was using it, and Google has the money to do that. That's where you see ESPN trying to kick up this boxing thing. They got Top Rank, and they waited for Wilder Fury to be an epic fight, Fury to, you know, have this crazy backstory that he bounced back from. And then after that was said and done, you know, they pitched him an offer to be his U.S. broadcaster, and he went with it. But, you know, my fear was what we see here on the screen. Let's talk about it. Showtime, Steven Espinoza, he says, newsflash, one side wants an immediate rematch, the other side doesn't. Shocking, I say, shocking. Which is, he's being facetious or sarcastic. And he's replying to the WBC president. Posted this: keep in mind the WBC ordered Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury to fight. You know, they said, even though Wilder as a champion has obligations as a champion to fight mandatories and that type of thing, we'll step out of the side. You know, we'll step to the side because Wilder Fury 2 is a big fight. We stepped out of the way for the first fight. Wilder, our champion, couldn't get a Joshua fight. This was the next best thing. So, you know, we're going to allow for this to continue. First fight was great. It ended on quote unquote controversial terms, which it really wasn't controversial with the 2 knockdowns. Like I've said from the beginning, new media. You notice how I stay consistent with what I was saying then and what I'm saying now. Always listen to what people say then and now. But anyway, WBC President MAURICIO SULAIMAN says Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury is officially not happening next. Officially not happening next. they say this because the WBC has received communications as our process, and while WBC champion Deontay Wilder confirmed its willingness to fight in the rematch, Tyson Fury will take on another fight with expectations to do a rematch at a later date. AKA Team Tyson Fury. I don't know if it's him particularly. Either way, he's to blame as well. He and they have decided we don't want to fight Wilder next. We want to take a tune-up, which coincides specifically with what Bob Arum was saying. So, you know, this to me was a setup. You know, it's a setup for obvious reasons. ESPN used Tyson Fury as a springboard. You know, they waited for they used Showtime, really. You know, Showtime put on the event. Showtime took the risk. Like, you got to understand how these are businesses. Showtime, they took on this fight. They promoted it. They did the all access. They showed the behind the scenes clip. They had a camera crew following both. And I know BT Sport did this as well, so shout out to them. But I'm talking about as the US broadcaster. So they had all the liability. It was their fight. They're about sink or swim. You know, if it did great, then it falls on them. And if it didn't, then it falls on them. And they did it. They took the risk. And then after that was over, ESPN just jumped in the mix and really messed things up. You know, now Tyson Fury is going to be fighting against who knows who he's going to be fighting against next, right? And it's just everything's messed up now, you know. And once again, let's see you guys hold Tyson Fury and his team to the same standard that you did or tried to do with Adonis Stevenson. Remember, a similar situation happened, and it wasn't even this bad, because I don't know if Adonis was even in negotiations with Kovalev. But you see how the Black Channel, right? Adonis Stevenson, he was on the HBO side. Heyman had HBO fighters, and then Heyman pulled his fighters, stopped working with Golden Boy, etc. And his fighters ended up going to Showtime, including his biggest fighter, Floyd Mayweather. Everybody said that Adonis Stevenson ducked Sergey Kovalev because he switched networks. So I can't wait to see what people say regarding Tyson Fury, if they're gonna try to make some kind of excuse or keep it a buck. And the thing with Tyson Fury is this: he's a good fighter, you know, has a great backstory and stuff like that. But he kind of duped the public a bit, you know, saying that, hey, I'm not in it for money, and like these decisions that are being made to me are just that. You know, these are monetary decisions. Like, you teamed up with ESPN, now it's not in their best interest to put you in with Wilder straight away. They want to build it up, or, you know, gain some momentum, give you an opportunity, give you an opportunity to, you know, get your bearings back. See, and that's the reality of it. People always say Wilder's flaws. Oh, he swings wild, he's not technical, and all he has is a big punch. But that big punch is obviously, you know, it's obviously worth people failing drug tests, which has happened multiple times to Deontay Wilder, you know, not fighting him when they could, like Anthony Joshua, and now Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury's headed to ESPN, and I told you guys from the beginning, you know, I had quarrels and worries that this would happen. You know, oh, landmark deal, everyone's happy. Yeah, I wasn't. I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait and find out, see what happens, what's what, because I don't know what ESPN's intention is, but I have a gut feeling. And I've been doing this long enough, as you guys can see. My gut feeling once again turned out to be exactly what the case was. Fury does not want the rematch. No smoke. You know, he got this new deal and he wants to build up, and he wants to let it marinate or get a tune-up. So I really feel that 12th round, they realized that's a reality check. That was a little too close for comfort. They realized, okay, you took a massive risk coming back off of a 2-year layoff, taking 2 light tune-ups. You had a big heart, and you got nailed in that 12th round, and it was almost like done for you. It was almost over for you. So before we go back into that, we got to get you, you know, in the best possible shape, get some money out of you on ESPN with other more winnable fights. You know, I'm not saying that Tyson Fury can't beat Wilder, but it kind of goes to what Shelly Finkel said at the press conference, and I agree. Shelly Finkel said something to the effect of, we seen the best Tyson Fury. You know, he boxed very well. He did his thing, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, he's going to continue to be the same fighter. You know, we've seen what he brings to the table. Meanwhile, Wilder, that's a little bit tricky to say. Meanwhile, Wilder, he can change some things up, and that's exactly what I told you guys. Wilder, he did some things wrong for sure, right? Where he basically, and then like comparing himself to Muhammad Ali and stuff. Wilder did some things wrong, and this was still the scene in the 12th round. You get what I'm saying? He did some things where he was like overzealous, and like he was telegraphing his punches, seemed a little bit too hasty, a little bit too anxious, if you will, and he still created this scene that you see on the screen. So ESPN, Top Rank, Fury, Ben Davison, all of them, they realized that, guess what? You know, this is a reality. This dude has power. You heard the clip at the beginning. He said he's the most fiercest puncher in heavyweight history. So to me, this is definitely considered a duck, because all things considered, Wilder, you know, he put on the performance he was getting outboxed in the middle rounds, still produced what you see on the screen. Still produced 2 violent knockdowns, especially the 12th one. Some people argue if Jack Reese gave him slightly too much time, stuff like that. Little too close for comfort. Now they want to get Tyson Fury real right. But see, this is the thing. Tyson Fury jumped up and said, you know, I'm a warrior and Gypsy King, and this is what we do. And he started winning this, you know, Fighter of the Year, like honors and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden, you don't want an immediate rematch. Everyone, like, your heart and willingness was what caused people to resonate with you. All of this, and then now you're not even trying to rematch him straight away. And we know Wilder wants it. Listen, I got an email from PBC literally a day or two after the fight. I went to this fight. I was there in the building. I covered the fight, and the letter from PBC, the PR people with Showtime and Heyman, it says Wilder wants to do a conference call. Wilder said very clear, he spoke very clearly, said, I want an immediate rematch. There's people, you know, presumably Andre Ward and others, he says they think that I won't take the rematch. I don't know why. He said, because this is all I want. I want to show the world. So we know for a fact that Deontay Wilder wants the rematch, just like Steven Espinoza is saying. We know that. I have, you know, I'll release the tape again, but I did a video, I did a live stream, I was on the conference call. He said specifically he wanted Fury. And another reason why I feel this was a setup for Tyson Fury is because he was in negotiations with Wilder, making it seem like everything was good, and behind the scenes he was doing this deal with ESPN. So really it's kind of like a double cross. You know, he pretty much double crossed Showtime, you know, similar to Eddie Hearn, you know, going with DAZN. They let Joshua get built up on Showtime a bit, gain a little bit of steam in America. You know, Showtime did their best to promote who Joshua was fighting. And then as soon as his contract ran out, then, you know, Eddie Hearn pulls the plug, leaves Showtime, you know, and goes over to DAZN with Anthony Joshua. Same thing here. And that's why to me it's kind of like a setup and a double cross, because if Tyson Fury, if you knew you really wanted to fight Wilder, you know, why not, whilst in negotiations, why not be like, oh, you know, I can't really say too much detail, but we're thinking about going to ESPN, but we still want to fight you. They didn't let Wilder's team know until the world found out. So Wilder had to wake up thinking he's in negotiations with the guy, right? And then find out like me or everybody else. Like, wow, Tyson Fury just went over to ESPN. He had to find out like us. Same thing with Showtime, Steven Espinal, everybody involved. They had to find out like us. So that's how you knew it was a setup. Because why wouldn't you make that? If you're in negotiation with somebody, why wouldn't you be transparent that, hey, you know, there's a point of contention now because we're switching networks, you know? So Frank Warren, you know, he sees the opportunity. ESPN was offering a large sum of money, and they took the money route. You know, you got people, you know, getting tattoos of him and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't care what nobody says. This is officially Tyson Fury's his deal, because you went over to a new network. You don't want the smoke, you know, at least right now. You know, you want to ready yourself and prepare for it. You could say whatever you want. You could try to make excuses, but that is the case. And you know, if it was anybody else, especially a black fighter, people would hold them on the ringer. Like, let's say Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. If the same exact situation happened, Andre Ward, Kovalev won. You know, there was controversy, who won, this, that, and the third. There was a fight that was on HBO Boxing. If Andre Ward was in negotiations with Kovalev's team and main events, and then one day Kovalev's team and main events wake up and they find out Andre Ward went over to Showtime, which created a gap, which created a rift in promotional duties and stuff like that. What would you guys say about Andre Ward? If he left HBO when the first fight was on HBO, no problem. Everybody was anticipating an immediate rematch, and he left. You know, what if Canelo did this? What if Canelo was fighting Triple G? People said the draw was bullshit, and Canelo went and said, I was born ready, and I'm going to Showtime. What would you guys say? You know, they always treat minority fighters to a different standard. You know, if Canelo had the Triple G fight and then switched up and went over to Showtime or went over to DAZN, and his next fight was not Triple G, that people would say, but you know, Andre Ward did the right thing. Canelo did the right thing. You know, and a lot of people, they were saying, I have my gut feeling about this would create a rift where we don't get the fight next. And that suspicion and hunch was accurate. Meanwhile, look at old media. You had a lot of people who were saying, oh no, the fight could still happen. I still think it's going to happen. Well, now what do we think? Because the WBC was pushing for the fight too. They were willing to step out of the way of the fight, and now they've been notified by they just told you. They said by Tyson Fury's side that there's no immediate rematch. You know, this is the WBC. They don't have nothing against Fury. It says Wilder confirmed his willingness to fight the rematch. Fury will take on another fight. So basically he wants a tune-up. No smoke. Let me know what you guys think. Tyson Fury, very disappointed with the, you know, this ESPN deal and this announcement, because this is the type of fight where you need an immediate rematch. Let's just see who's better straight away. Like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to, because too much can happen, you know, and this creates another ripple in the pond. Joseph Parker just offered to step up and fight Tyson Fury on ESPN, which is a feasible fight. But who wants to see that more than Wilder versus Fury 2? Parker lost, you know, and was dropped twice by Dillian White. Lost before that to Anthony Joshua. He's solid, but, you know, to go up against a lineal champion right now, is that what we want to see? And the thing is, Tyson Fury, to me, he took the money route. He sold out for the money, because all he had to do was fight Wilder, and if you're so confident that you beat him already, beat him again, and then it doesn't matter who you fight next. You have a pass. Beat him again. But to me, this shows that this man, Deontay Wilder, he is the fiercest puncher, and they know that power is real. And as a result, you know, they're like, oh shit, okay, we got to move a little bit more strategic. You know, like let's say it's a Wild Wild West movie, right? And you decide to challenge someone to a gunslinging shootout, and you don't think they have that great of aim, right? You're like, oh man, this dude can't beat me in a shootout. And then you peek your head out and a bullet whizzes by you, right? And you almost get your head blown off by that bullet. Like, oh shit. You realize this guy is a shooter. He's a marksman. He's actually more accurate than I thought, because the bullet barely missed me and I just peeked my head out, right? So that's going to be a little bit too close for comfort. As a result, now if you're in the shootout, you already agreed to it. So you're already in the shootout with this person. Now you got to move carefully. You can't just like chump him. You can't just peek your head out when you want, because you've seen how close he came to actually hitting you. You get what I'm saying? That's precisely what's happening here. You know, it was a little bit too close for comfort in that 12th round. They felt the power, and now they want to get real ready if they even do the rematch. Once again, notice for minorities, these standards always change. You know, if Wilder was the one that didn't want to do the immediate rematch, people would flip a lid. You know, just like Lomachenko. Lomachenko, he's never fought Salido. He was confident and his team was cocky enough to fight Salido in his second fight, but as soon as he gets beat, he never rematches him. Golovkin has a tough fight with Jacobs, never rematches him. Meanwhile, Canelo's fighting Jacobs. Now add Tyson Fury to the list. He's claiming he won and I won, but he also got involved in a U.S. broadcaster deal, which clearly created, it was always going to create politics, you know, especially if Wilder has to now fight only exclusively on ESPN in a multi-fight deal when Showtime's been backing him for this long, which is what I told you from the beginning. You know, clearly that was going to create a rift, and then now he ran over there to ESPN and he's going to fight someone lesser than Wilder and not be fighting for a title. And then people are going to try to, if new media wasn't around, try to excuse it and make excuses. But again, if what you guys say is true and Tyson Fury kicked Wilder's ass and Wilder knows he lost, then why is it, yet again, Wilder is the one pursuing the fight? He wants an immediate rematch. He don't want to fight Dominic Breazeale. He don't want to fight Josh. He wants to fight Tyson Fury to show you guys. You know, so shout out to Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. I don't know what he's done in his past life to create this type of bad luck. People fail on drug tests, and you know, it's like the power is a gift and a curse. Everyone just talks about, oh, he has 2 left feet and he's sloppy and wide punches, but these things always seem to happen with Deontay Wilder. People don't fight him, duck him from the jump. People, just do all this stuff, so it can't be as bad as y'all talk about. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very disappointed right now. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. And we out.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.